Like, nobody really cares about your opinion. Talking to the radical extreme left is not working. They are demonic. They are evil. Seems like Montel Williams, the washed up talk show host from like the 60s or 40s, looks like he's from the 40s, is going on CNN spreading a bunch of lies, just trying to be relevant again for 5 minutes. Scott Jennings absolutely cooks him as usual. This tweet here that we ran across, Montel Williams of POS, he just decided to mock Scott Jennings rather for being impassioned about Charlie. Scott Jennings, Charlie Kirk's not even buried yet, and the left is already coming out and just mocking us, mocking conservatives for having the celebrations for and about Charlie, and then they're going on national TV already dismissing it, saying we need more talk. You know, let's put this behind us and let's talk a little bit about it. And Scott Jennings is just spewing facts on this guy, man. I love it. Play the clip.
Can we, for 1 second, understand that as we continue, Scott just got all angry, got real mad. Face it, it's got to be this, it's got to be this, it's got to be this. Why can't we have a discussion about how long is it going to take for us to figure out a way to come back together?
Just to be clear, I am angry.
Can we just let him finish?
I am angry.
Scott, I'll let you talk.
Because I knew it.
Scott, I'll let you talk in just a second. Go ahead.
Could we spend as much time figuring out how we bridge this and come back together again? You know, I used to have a note on my producer's desk when I did my show that was said, we don't belabor what happens, we try to figure out why it happens and come up with solutions. Right now, all we're doing is belaboring what happened over and over and over and over again. We're not going to sit down and try to figure out how do we stop it. If we want to
go after left-wing terrorists. That's actually exactly the conversation we're having, is we're acknowledging there's a problem.
So anybody who disagrees with you is a left-wing terrorist?
Absolutely not, but if they target a conservative and murder him in brutal fashion, he's probably a left-wing terrorist.
Let me answer your question.
Yes, that person is a murderer.
You said,
we can all acknowledge that.
You said I am angry, and I'm just telling. I am channeling the emotions of millions of conservatives who are angry. They knew Charlie. They loved Charlie. They viewed Charlie as a mainstream conservative Republican voice who talked about issues that millions of Americans believe. He also talked about his faith. And he did it by going to college campuses, which are not normally hospitable to conservatives, and offering his opponents a microphone to have what we always say.
In support of what? In support of what?
Civil discourse.
Not only that, but support of the First Amendment.
And guess what?
He made sure that people had an opportunity to stand in a room and talk.
He was murdered trying to do what we always say. Why don't we talk to each other? So yes, it's not even been a week. So you're going to have to give us a little grace on being angry about somebody who did what you always say that we should do. Let's talk.
We didn't
and
give
he got
grace
killed.
Over,
and he got
more
killed.
than a week's grace over
two
Michigan elected officials who were murdered. Did we give? Was it 3 weeks before we decided to say that there was something wrong with Speaker Pelosi's husband being hit in the head with a hammer
by a homeless drug addict? I mean, it was terrible that happened. This is not the same kind of case.
Montel Williams is washed up, man. They need to take him back to the nursing home. So when Scott Jennings had him cornered, it's a classic debate tactic to just divert. And that's exactly what he did. So when Scott Jennings says, look, you on the left are telling us we need to talk more. Let's put this behind us. Charlie Kirk got murdered literally for talking to the opposition to try to come across some sort of civil agreement and understanding. They just don't get it. You even have Fetterman. Fetterman gets it, which blows my mind. This guy, we don't know if he's a Republican or Democrat. I don't think he knows, but let's see what he said.
Don't compare him to anyone. And if you do, then you will incite somebody to say, well, now I feel like I have to stop that and take them out. People have seemed to have forgotten that the president took a shot to the head. And can you imagine if that shot would have gone the way Charlie Kirk's one, and what kind of condition our nation would be in? This is such a dangerous time right now. And now why? You don't need this an opportunity to share your opinions on it. Just, again, it's appalling, and allow folks enough space to grieve. The man hasn't even been buried yet. And it's like, that's why we wanted to have a conversation, that we have to find a way to work together. Don't compare him to anyone.
What he's saying is that this isn't the time for your opinions. Allow everyone to mourn Charlie's the tragic event that happened to Charlie without injecting your opinion into it right now. Like, nobody really cares about your opinion, and we're not trying to solve any issues right now. Let's have his celebration of life, have his funeral, move forward, and then try to figure out how this is going to work. Because like Scott was saying, talking is not working. Talking to the radical extreme left is not working. They are demonic. They are evil. And you can't talk a demon. Jesus was the only one that could talk a demon out of somebody. We can't. There's another clip here where Scott Jennings is cooking them over at CNN. Man, this joker, he's on fire. Let's see what he's got to say.
But the internet is not
Can
real
I
life.
ask, though,
is part of what this
everybody
is,
here
right?
acknowledges that there have been thousands upon thousands of people, ordinary people, who have taken to social media to celebrate this, yes or no?
I don't know about that.
You know,
Okay?
I
I don't know.
I have
Scott,
high school
hold on,
friends
hold on.
who are.
Scott,
I
hold on a
think it
second.
is-
Hold
it
on.
is
I just think we
horrible.
should we got to be factual about this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you know the scope. I don't know the scope. But I do think that we have to distinguish between random people in the world and something that is a dominant
Why?
issue.
Because the person who shot Charlie
it's
Kirk was a
random.
random person in the world,
Well,
was
no.
he not?
Well, here's the thing.
That's the danger.
There have
You
been-
dismiss the
there
random
have been
people of the world.
political-
They have
There
access
have been
to
political
weapons
assassinations
and
in
hateful
this country.
motivations.
There have been political assassinations in this country before, Scott. Wouldn't you agree? And they're all
Of course.
reprehensible. And in this country, do you believe that in those political assassinations in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, assassination attempts, that there were no Americans who cheered that on? I think the
I've not
question
asserted
is
anything
the
of the sort.
question is not whether or not it happens. The question is whether or not we need to place that at the very center of our political world right now and categorize half the people in the country according to those random people that we now just happen to see because of the internet.
Then denounce them. Denounce them. The host of that show, again, they deflected when she was saying, "Oh, well, you know, there's just a few random people in the world that are mocking this or dismissing this or celebrating this murder," and she's saying they're just some random person, people across the internet. And Scott Jennings comes across and says, who do you think murdered all these people? They're all random. All the political murders that have happened from Lincoln to, if you want to say, Kennedy, Martin Luther King, the attempt on President Trump's life, they are some random lowlife that thinks that they've got to take action. And why? Because they've been empowered through the political culture that they follow and that they embed themselves in. So to just simply dismiss the internet and all of the cheers and jeers for this heinous act is absolutely despicable by CNN and this Abby. I forget her last name. Don't even really care. Just what a bunch of losers, man. I get it. See you next show.